So first up here is a 2009 Harrison presidential dollar coin. Now this William Harrison coin here is missing the edge lettering. So if we look at this image here of the presidential dollar coin and Sacagawea dollar coin, you see there on the edge of the coin there's lettering, there are dates on those, and then here's an example of one where it is missing the edge lettering on the Washington presidential dollar coin. Now if we look at this stack of coins here, you can see one that has the date in the middle and the rest there missing the edge lettering. So this 2009 presidential dollar coin is also graded at a mint state 69. That means it's in extremely good condition. The coin grading scale only goes up to 70, and that's why this coin sold for over $1,900. Now we'll go through these next ones very quick. They're going to be valuable because they're missing the edge lettering and they're high grades. So here's a James Polk presidential $1 coin, and this coin, because of that, sold for over $1,500. Now this next one, 2008 presidential dollar coin, this one here, same thing, missing edge lettering, high grade, sold for over $1,800. And then this coin here from 2007, same thing again, this dollar coin sold for over $2,500. And then here for the Thomas Jefferson edition of the presidential dollar coin, this one here, again missing edge lettering, high grade of a mint state 66. This coin sold for over $1,500. Now enjoy the rest of the video and check out all of the other dollar coins that are worth some big money. Moving on to a very cool coin. This is probably definitely my favorite of this video. It's going to be the 2009 Denver Mint James Polk $1 die adjustment strike mint error. So this is very cool. You can see that the whole design is not really there. All you see is the president's head there and a bunch of scratches and nicks. Really a great error coin to come across. If we look here on the reverse of the coin, all you see is $1 and the standing liberty there. So obviously this die adjustment strike has prevented the whole design from being on the coin. Next up is the 2007 Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar. Now this is graded by PCGS and it is also missing edge lettering, and it's graded at a mint state 66, so pretty decent grade there, and it has an auction record of selling for just over $1,500. And the most valuable coin here on today's list, this is also again missing edge lettering. So if you're going through all these dollar coins, you can definitely get these from the bank, get bank rolls of these things. They have tons and tons of them. If you search through these dollar coins, definitely be looking for the missing edge lettering, because this 2009 William Harrison presidential dollar, graded at a mint state 69 by NGC, almost perfect, so very good grade. It actually has a record auction price of selling for over $1,900. Wow. Actually going to look at Eisenhower dollars today, sometimes known as Ike dollars. We're starting off here first with a 1971 Denver minted Eisenhower dollar struck on a nickel planchet. So how crazy is that? Could you imagine finding something like this? If you find anything that looks like this interesting on any denomination of coin, you definitely want to hold on to it and get a second opinion. So this coin is actually graded by NGC at a mint state 64, and it has an auction record price of selling for over $12,000. Next up is a similar error, guys. This is a 1974 overstruck on a 1974 D 10-cent planchet, and it's a double denomination. So basically what a 10-cent planchet means for all you non-collectors out there is that it means that this coin was struck on a dime. So a dime design was actually supposed to be on this coin. A planchet is the coin without the design on it. So here we have an Eisenhower dollar struck on a dime, which is very cool. It's graded by NGC at a mint state 65. Very good grade. The grading scale, of course, goes up to 70 at the best, and this has an auction record of selling for over $14,000. And the holy grail of this video is going to be a 1977 Denver minted Eisenhower dollar. Now this is an obverse die cap. Obviously you could see around the edge and the rim of the coin that die cap actually taking place, and we look here on the reverse of the coin and you see that planchet is just plain. There's no design on the reverse, which is very cool. And if we look here at a side view, you can actually see the thickness of the coin and how that is all worn down, and it's very rounded and very cool die cap there. This is an extremely valuable error coin here, and this has an auction record price of selling for over $29,000. First off is a 1974 Eisenhower Dollar. This is a Denver minted Eisenhower Dollar, and it was actually struck on the wrong planchet. It was struck on a Philippine 1 peso planchet. It weighs 14.6 grams. Obviously, you can see that the whole design of the Eisenhower Dollar is not fitting here on this planchet. And like I said, it just got struck on a Philippine coin planchet, a 1 peso planchet. So that's why this Eisenhower Dollar sold for over $780. $780 for a $1 coin. Next up is a very simple error coin that I show in many of my videos on different denominations of coins. This is again a 1971 Denver minted Eisenhower Dollar that has been clipped. So it is a mint error. This one here in particular has double curved clips, and that's why this dollar coin sold for over $820. Moving on to a Morgan dollar coin. Now this is pretty cool. Love Morgan dollars. This is a 1921 Morgan dollar coin, and it's on a defective planchet. So you can see the cracked edge there taking place on the obverse and the reverse of the coin there on the left side of the coin, and that's why this Morgan dollar coin sold for over $760. Next up is a Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. Now this is a 1999 Philadelphia minted. Now this coin has an off-center error taking place on it. You can see there on the obverse and the reverse of the coin there. That's why you should always be looking at your coins very closely, because one could be extremely off-center, one could be off-center by 5% or 90%. It all varies for off-center error coins, so make sure you're keeping that in mind, always inspecting your coins. This coin here sold for over $600. Back to an Eisenhower Dollar. Now one may think that this is not valuable, it's just very worn out. However, it is a mint error. Now it does not have a date because of the die adjustment strike error taking place on the coin, and that's why this Eisenhower Dollar sold for over $745. Now these next two coins have been struck through. Now this one in particular has been struck through an unknown object. So not sure what object got in the way in the minting process of this particular dollar coin here, but it is a mint error, and therefore it does make it much more valuable than its face value of $1. Now this Eisenhower Dollar, because of this error, sold for over $645. Next up is a 1974 Eisenhower Dollar that has been struck through duct tape. So very interesting. Not sure if something like this would be done on purpose in the mint. I don't know, man. Maybe there is, you know, duct tape around these machines and stuff that this could be a huge accident. Either way, it's still gonna make the coin valuable. It's been struck through duct tape during the process of creating this coin, and that's why this 1974 Eisenhower Dollar sold for over $940. First up is an image of the mintages of some of the Eisenhower Dollar coins. Now you can see it says uncirculated Eisenhower silver dollar coins. Now all the silver coins for just specifically the Eisenhower Dollar are always going to have the S mint mark, San Francisco minted coins. You can see there to the right, they really didn't make that many, so they're awesome coins to come by if you're at a coin shop or something and you happen to go through the 40% silver bucket. I definitely always grab a hold of those and keep those, because you can see they only made 6.8 million, 2 million, 1 million, 4 million, so they definitely are low mintage coins. But if you look there at the top of the screen, the 1977, 77Ds, they produce, you know, 30 million, 25 million, 33 million, and those coins are not silver. Now I have done videos in the past of what errors to look for on EIC dollars, so definitely be checking that video out. All you guys gotta do is go to the playlist on my channel, go to Dollar Coins Worth Money, and you guys will be able to watch those videos. So if you want to pause the video here and see which ones are silver, which ones are not silver, feel free to do so, but let's move on and check out some of these awesome coins. Alright, so first up is the 1977 Eisenhower Dollar coin. Now what makes this coin valuable is that it was actually struck on a 40% silver planchet, and that's why it weighs 24.9 grams. So obviously you could tell by looking at it, if you're familiar with coins, if the coin is silver or not. However, if you want to weigh it, that will help verify whether it is silver or not. Now the 1977D is not supposed to be silver. It's only supposed to be clad. So this coin being struck on a silver planchet is what gives the coin value. Now this dollar coin sold for over $12,900. Next up is an example of a high-graded 1976 Eisenhower Dollar coin. Now this is a Type 1. I have done an Eisenhower Dollar video where I explained the difference of Type 1 and Type 2, so make sure you guys check that out. I'll put it at the end of this video. Now this coin here sold for over $7,600. Now just something interesting to look for on the 1971S San Francisco minted Eisenhower Dollar coin. You want to look for the R that is on the right side of the screen there. Basically, it's like missing the serifs. So the serifs are the two little things. If you look there in the left-hand corner at the R, and you look at the top left of the R and the bottom left of the R, those are the serifs. Now the left image is what it was supposed to be like. The right image is missing the serifs because of over polishing. It's basically called the peg leg. So it's over polishing of the die that's left the letter R in Liberty without its serifs. Always be on the lookout for that. Like I said, get a cheap little coin USB microscope. You can get them on couchcollectibles.com. Link is in the description of this video, and you will be able to see your coins up close like this. Another thing to look for on the 1971S is an RPM, a repunched mint mark. You can see that this mint mark has been repunched, and that will give the coin value, so definitely be looking out for those. Now on the 1972 Eisenhower Dollar, you want to look on the reverse for doubling taking place on the stars. If you look there close at the stars, you can see that they are doubled. Like I said, get the cheap USB coin microscope and you guys will be able to see stuff like this. Next up is a 1974S. This is a silver Eisenhower Dollar, and this is a very, very high graded coin, pretty much almost as high as you can get. The grading scale only goes from 1 to 70. This is at a mint state 69, and that's why it is extremely valuable. This dollar coin sold for over $9,700. Now just to show you a lower graded coin, this is a 1971. It's not silver, however it does have a double die reverse on the back of it. So there's doubling taking place on the back of the coin. However, it is not an extremely valuable coin. This coin here only sold for over $15. But it's also not a mint stated graded coin. So it's at an about uncirculated 55. Now if this was at a MS 68, obviously it would sell for a lot more money. The 1971S DDO. Again, DDO means double die obverse, means that there is doubling seen on the front of the coin. And this coin, these are silver, S mint mark. The doubling is visible on Liberty, and God We Trust, and the date. Next up, 1971S peg leg error. So on this coin, polishing has shortened the base of the R and the word Liberty. Moving on, 1971D. The hub used for this reverse die omitted the extra brow line on the eagle, a characteristic from which this variety gets its name. Also, there are extra lines on the craters that you can see in the picture displayed. Next up, the 1971S RPM. RPM stands for repunched mint mark, of course. So that's pretty self-explanatory. The mint mark was stamped twice. 1972S DDO, double die obverse again. Slight doubling is seen on the date, the word Liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust." Next up, the 1972S DDO and DDR, meaning that there's double die obverse and double die reverse on this coin. Doubling is visible on the phrase "In God We Trust" and tripling on the 1 of the date. Doubling is also visible on the earth and several stars on the reverse of the coin. Next up is a pretty cool area here. We got the 1972 Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3. So the Type 1 is where 3 islands are visible beneath Florida on the earth there, all are east of it. And also the crater above the letters LA of dollar has no outline and no smaller craters inside it. The Type 2 has a rather distinct islands. 3 lines are visible beneath Florida, and also the craters above the letters LA of dollar has an accused outline behind it and no smaller craters inside of it. For the Type 3, 3 islands are visible beneath Florida. The largest of them extends to the west of it, and the crater above the letters LA of the word dollar has no encused outline behind it, but it does have 2 smaller craters inside of it. Next up, the 1973 SDDO, doubling the scene on the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "in God we trust." Seems to be a reoccurring trend on these errors here. And to finish all these coins off, the 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial. So the Bicentennial Dollar here has both Type 1 and Type 2s for the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The difference is the lettering on the reverse. So Type 1 has a block sans serif type of lettering, and the Type 2 has a delicate serif style lettering. So you can obviously see the difference here. Let's go back to the Type 1 and then go to the Type 2, and you can definitely see the difference in the lettering there. Now all these coins are going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, guys. First, we're going to start off with one that isn't even an error coin. This is just an 1886 O mint mark, meaning that this was minted in New Orleans. It's just a really high grade at a mint state 65 plus. If we look here in the middle of the coin on the reverse, in the bottom there, you will see that O mint mark right above the word dollar. It's right in between the D and the O. You see that O there, meaning that New Orleans minted mint mark. And this coin has an auction record price of selling for over $235,000. Next up is an 1895 O mint mark, again minted in New Orleans, graded by PCGS at a mint state 67, and this coin actually has an auction record price of selling for over $585,000. Wow, over $500,000, guys, for that coin. Isn't that just incredible? Moving on, we're getting more expensive here. This is going to be an 1893 San Francisco mint, and this is graded by PCGS at a mint state 65, and this has an auction record price of selling for over $646,000. And the holy grail of this video is the 1889 CC, meaning that it was minted in Carson City. This is graded by PCGS at a mint state 68. Guys, the grading scale only goes up to 70, so that is an incredible grade for this coin. And check out my coin grading video if you haven't. Go through my channel and find that video. You will see on the thumbnail it says coin grading, and watch that. It will better help explain the whole process of coin grading and stuff like that. And this coin has an auction record of selling for over $881,000. Are you kidding me? Almost $1 million for this $1 coin from Carson City, 1889. Wow. Now these piece dollar coins, guys, are silver dollar coins, and they are extremely valuable coins. We're starting off here with a 1922 San Francisco mint piece dollar. Now this is graded by PCGS at a mint state 65, and what makes this coin extremely valuable is its error. Not only does the coin's grade make this coin extremely valuable, but the error on this coin. This error coin has a struck 15% off center error, and you can clearly see that to the left of the piece dollar coin there. So this has an auction record price of selling for over $32,000. Next up is a 1925S San Francisco mint dollar coin. Now this piece dollar has an auction record price of selling for over $30,000. Moving on to a 1926 piece dollar coin. Now this coin is graded by NGC at a mint state 67, and it has an auction record price of selling for over $14,000. And the holy grail of this video, guys, is the 1934 Denver minted piece dollar silver dollar coin, graded by PCGS at a mint state 67, and it has an auction record price, believe it or not, of selling for over $86,000. Now for this one, they did produce 360 million of these coins. However, there are 2 different types. So variety 1 would be the wide rim, and then the narrow rim. As you can see in the picture displayed, the wide rim on the right there, you have less of a gap in between the number and the coin and the edge of the coin there. And on the left of the narrow rim, you can see that gap is much larger. So the 1979p wide rim variety does appear closer to the date than the other $1979 issues, as I said before. Now these can go anywhere from $30 to $45 in a typical uncirculated grade. So let's move on to the 1979S proof, where they produced 3.6 million of these coins, and they also had a Type 1 and Type 2 of these coins. So in 1979, mint marks were still being punched into working dies by hand, and the punch was old and worn. The mint mark looked like a blob, as you can see in the picture displayed here. But towards the end of the production in 1979, a punch was made and yielded in the 1979 S Proof Type 2s, where there were clear mint marks on those. So the second most expensive date in the series here is the 1979 S Proof Type 2, which can sell for around $75. Moving on to the 1981 S Proof, where they produced a little over 4 million of these coins, and they also had a Type 1 and Type 2. So basically the same kind of story here. The new punch that was made in 1979 was still being used to place the mint mark on the 81 proof coins. However, it was worn and it still had a mint mark similar to the style of the 1979 proof Type 2 coins. So this punch was replaced towards the end of the production year in 1981, and that is where the Type 2 coin of the 1981 S Proof was created, and these can cost anywhere from $150 to $175. And to finish all these coins off is the 1999 P Proof. Philadelphia Mint, of course, where they only made 750,000 of these coins, and they can go around for $20. You can see the mintages for the 1976. Now we're gonna get into the different types. There's a Type 1 and a Type 2 version of the 1976 Eisenhower Dollar. And then there's also silver, non-silver, and proof coins. So there's a lot going on here. This is how many they made of each specific one. You can see that the 1976 Type 2 is the most common one out there. It's not silver, and they made over 113 million of those coins. Also, I'll be showing you my Eisenhower Dollar collection and showing you guys what silver and non-silver ones actually look like. Alright, so for the 1976, now the silver Eisenhower Dollars are gonna weigh around 24.59 grams. So if you don't have a coin scale, I have those available, couchcollectibles.com, link is in the comments below. Now for the Eisenhower Dollar coins that are non-silver, they are copper nickel coins, and they weigh 22.68 grams. So of course they're gonna weigh a little less than the silver coins. Now for the silver Eisenhower Dollar coins, they are not 90%, they are 40% silver. So we got silver and non-silver. Alright, now for the Type 1 versus Type 2, here's an example of a 1976D that is the Type 1, and then here's an example of a 1976D that is the Type 2. Now if we look at this image here, you can see a Type 1 next to a Type 2. Now you will notice that the big difference here is the lettering. The lettering on the Type 1 is very thick and bold, and then the lettering is a lot more thinner there on the Type 2 version of these Eisenhower Dollars. Alright, so let's look at some prices. Here's a 1976D. This is the Type 1, so it has like the thick lettering there on the reverse of the coin. And this one is a very high graded coin. That's what gives it a lot of value, and that's why this dollar coin sold for over $11,000. Now this one here is very interesting. This is actually an error coin. So for the 1976D, they did not produce any silver coins for those. They only produced the silver for the S Mint mark, the San Francisco Mint. Now this is the Denver Mint. So this is not supposed to be silver. However, it was struck on a 40% silver planchet on accident. So it is a Type 2 version. And this coin, because of the error on the coin, and it does have a grade of about uncirculated 55, so it's not a mint state grade, but still pretty good grade for an error coin like this. This coin sold for over $8,000. Next up is a 1976S. Now this one's interesting too, because this one is a proof coin and it's got the S Mint mark. However, it is not silver. So for 1976, I'm going to show you my books here and show you some coins in person and explain it a little more. So for the proof coins, they did have silver and non-silver as well. This is the clad version, so it is not silver. It is a Type 1. It's got a perfect grade of a proof 70 deep cameo. So the coin grading scale only goes up to 70. If you're not familiar with that, just go to YouTube, type in Couch Collectibles coin grading, and you will find my videos on coin grading. Now this coin here sold for over $25,000. $25,000. Now here is another 1976S. This is the same. It's a clad. It's not silver. It's a proof coin. Same grade as the last coin. However, this one is the Type 2, and this coin here sold for over $5,000. Moving on, this is a 1976 Type 1. Now this one is not a proof coin, but it is a 40% silver coin. So this is a silver clad, so it's not just clad, it is silver clad here. And like I said, I'm gonna show you the difference here in person in a minute. Now this coin here sold for over $1,700. Next up is another proof coin. However, this is the silver version of the Eisenhower Dollar silver coin. Now this is a 1976S. It's got the perfect proof grade and it's 40% silver, and this coin sold for over $6,900. Moving right along to a 1976 no mint mark. This one's got some really nice toning to it. It is a Type 1, so again it has those bold letters, and it is graded at a mint state 66, which gives it pretty much all of its value because of the high grade. This dollar coin sold for over $7,600. Moving right along to a 1976 no mint mark again. However, this is the Type 2 version of the Eisenhower Dollar coin, and this coin here, because of its high grade of a mint state 67, sold for over $6,000. $6,000. Alright, so I got a 1971 here. I know we're talking about the 1976. This is a 1971 S mint mark. However, this is not a proof coin. This is a 1976. It is the no mint mark, and it is a Type 2. We can tell there by the lettering of the coin. Let's check out the edges. This one here is 40% silver. This one is not silver at all. This is copper nickel. If you look at the edges there, you see the one on the left is silver. You can see how it's all white edge, 40% silver, and you see the one on the right, you see the copper. So that is one way to tell the difference right there. And of course, these S mint marks here are 40% silver, but there are S mint marks that are not 40% silver as well. So here's one way to tell that. All right, so that's considered a 1971 S silver clad. It is not a proof coin. If we look at this one here is considered a 1972 S silver clad proof. You see the difference between a proof coin and a regular coin here. So this one here has got the mirror-like finish, much more detail. If you guys are not familiar with proof coins, go to YouTube, type in Couch Collectibles proof coins, and you will learn more about those. All right, so here's my collection. We got the 1971 filled up, 1972, I need the silver S clad, and then I need the 1973. And then I only got a couple on this page. I only have the 1974, 1974D. Those are non-silver. If we move on to the 1976, now it says variety 1, variety 2. Let's just call it Type 1, Type 2 for this video. So Type 1, there's that one. I do not have the Type 2 version. And then I got Type 1 of the D, which is in terrible condition. I need to really get on this and get my collection going with these. But you see in 1976, there's 3, 6, 7 different, 8 different versions of those coins. So that is pretty crazy. You got the Type 1, Type 2, which we showed on screen with the thick and thin letters, and then Type 1, Type 2 for the 76D. That's the no mint mark right there. And then 76D, you got Type 1, Type 2 for that. And then you have the 1976S proof that has the Type 1, Type 2. Now these are non-silver. And then we also have the 1976S, which is a regular 76S, and then the 76S proof. Now both of these are silver, so silver and then silver proof, and both S mint marks. And then for the 1977 and 78, I don't have any 78s, only got a 77D, so I don't have the other one. So I need to get my collection together here. All right guys, I hope that explained everything about the Eisenhower Dollar coins. I'm gonna have some more of these videos coming up, so don't forget to check out my other videos, subscribe in the middle, and until tomorrow, I will see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.